everyone, welcome back to Lavendaire. It's Aileen. Today I'm going to share mistakes that I've made in my early 20s, and this is a collaboration video with Jenny Mustard. I'm sure a lot of you have seen Jenny's videos before, but if you haven't, Jenny Mustard makes videos on YouTube about lifestyle, minimalism, veganism, and more. Basically, she has this beautiful minimal aesthetic to her videos and a quirky personality, so she's really fun to watch. Jenny also made a video on mistakes that she's made in her 20s, so I'll link it right here in the card above and down below, so check that out after you watch this video. By the way, I know this video is titled Mistakes I Made in My 20s, but I'm currently 27, so I still have a few more years of mistakes to make, so I'm just gonna look back 10 years and consider the mistakes I made from like 17 to 27. So the first big mistake, and this is a juicy one because I've never shared it online before, is that I actually got fired from my first internship in college. This was when I was 18 years old, the summer after my first year of college, and was I 18? Yeah, I was 18. Basically, it was a really exciting position at E! News. So I was a wardrobe stylist assistant. I got to work on set of E! News where, like, the first day I got to meet Ryan Seacrest, Juliana Rancic, and Denise Richards, like these celebrities, right? So I was like, oh my God, this is such a cool job. So I was really excited to be there. And yet, because it was my first internship, I just didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to take initiative. There's just so many things that I did wrong in hindsight. Basically, before this internship, I was used to the schooling system where when you go to class, you're told what to do. You have a syllabus, you have homework, you follow the rules, and you just do what you're told, and then you get an A in the class, and that's it. So I kind of went into the internship with that background, I guess, and in that setting, I thought I was trying my best. I was doing whatever I was told to do, and yet most of the time, the job was really idle. Like, there was a lot of downtime, and so I had no idea what to do during that downtime. And because this was a fashion-related job, I had a desk, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna browse fashion blogs during my free time, so in case anybody walks by, they know that I'm like looking up fashion stuff. And so during most of my free time at that internship, I would just be at the computer browsing like lookbook, fashion blogs, just waiting for work to come to me. And yet, like, it was just so quiet. And I was like, well, what do? I guess I'll just sit here. And then 1.5 months later, one of the girls like took me aside, sat me down, and let me go from the job. She just basically told me like, hey, Aileen, you've been here for 1.5 months, and I really haven't gotten to know you. I haven't seen you like take initiative. She just told me all of these things, like they had a different expectation than I even knew was possible. And in my eyes, I honestly did not see that coming. I had no idea that I was gonna get fired. And then when she like let me go, I was like, what the heck just happened? Like, what did I do wrong? After hearing her feedback, I realized that there were a lot of things that I could have been doing during that free time of my internship that I was just wasting. So I could have been using that time to actually talk to people. I didn't know that I was allowed to talk to other employees in the office and outside of that office because it's a pretty big building. I didn't know that I was allowed to talk to people because technically I could have used that time to talk to people and learn about everyone's jobs in all the different departments. Another thing she said was I could have took more initiative to find work to do for myself when there was no work given to me. For example, like cleaning up the closets, picking up the hangers, steaming random clothes, like whatever work needed to be done to like pick it out myself and just do it without someone telling me to do it. And lastly, I was honestly just really shy at that point of my life that I would never ask questions. I would never talk to people, even the people that I worked with every day directly. I would just keep to myself, scroll the blogs. I would dress up and try to look as fashionable as possible for the job, thinking that that's what people wanted. I just wanted to impress others rather than like talk to them. So instead of trying to impress people by the clothes I was wearing and what I was browsing on the computer, I should have just talk to people, ask questions, learn as much as possible from that internship. So getting fired from that internship taught me so much that I really had to like go out and take initiative in the real world. I had to create work, find ways to help people without them telling me what to do. And I think that was like a big shift because I was like this A+ student in school. I did everything perfectly if you gave me like the rules and the homework. But in the real world, I was like, okay, it's not the same. It's not the same as school. I have to like actually think for myself. So I'm actually really grateful that I got fired from that internship because it taught me a lot. It taught me so much about how to act in future internships, and I did like 6 or 7 internships. So with each experience, I learned something and then tried it in the next one, and then learned something new, tried it in the next one, so that by the time like I graduated, I started working for a startup. At that point, I knew I had to take initiative and do this job, do that job, just create my own work for myself. And that's a skill that really, really helped me in life because I got to apply it to everything that I do today. Another huge mistake I made in my early 20s was spending too much time worrying about the future. And I know a lot of people do this. A lot of people, when they're young and they're in that uncertain stage of life, you just want to get everything figured out like right now. You want to be successful right now. And basically, like, I was always like looking at the future, being anxious or just not happy with where I am now. And I never took the time to fully live in the present moment. I feel like I was literally a zombie during a lot of my teenage and early 20 years. Like, I never was fully there. You know what I mean? Like, I have really bad memory of those years because I feel like I just blew past them. Honestly, when I think back at like my college years, I really wish I spent more time just enjoying the experience, hanging out with friends and just doing nothing. I wish I spent more time hanging out to do nothing because those are the times you get to bond with those people more. And I felt like I went through college really busy. I always had activities. I was always like, I don't know, doing so much, whether it was working internships, doing like dance, I was in a sorority, and all these things took up so much of my time that I was always on like a go, go, go mentality. And even though I lived in an apartment with roommates, I would never see my roommates because I would never be at home. I would always be out. And if I came home, it was to like change, eat, and then go out to the next thing. And so I was always on the go. I never took the time to really like calm down, be mindful, enjoy the present moment, and just relax and enjoy my youth with friends, because that's like the time where you can really just hang out and get to know each other. And I don't know, I just feel like I could have done more bonding socially versus trying to be so like ambitious and productive and on the go, because, you know, I really didn't get to enjoy my life. Another mistake I've made that's kind of been like a lifelong mistake and something that I've taken many, many years to improve and correct at is being late all the time. So growing up, I've always been the late kid, always late to school, always late to class. And I think when I was young, I just have memories of like my mom taking us to school, being really late. And part of it was like my mom's a late person, so she would make us late, and then it trained us to be late people. And living in the real world, I've had to learn that you have to respect other people's time. And when you're late to events, late when you're meeting up with people, it shows that you're being selfish and you're not respecting this person's time. So more and more, like, I try my best now to be on time, and I'm so much better at it. And part of the reason is because I work for myself. I don't have to like show up to work every day. Whenever I had to like show up to something every day on a set schedule, especially if it's in the morning, I would always be late. Work, always be late. School, class, always be late. I would miss a lot of classes as well. And I've gotten in a lot of trouble like in high school for not going to class or going to late to class. And in college, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're late to class. So college was easier for me. But I would say one of the most frustrating consequences of being late is the year after I graduated college, I entered a singing competition for Chinese television. And I was just, you know, making it through the ranks of the singing competition. Just imagine something like American Idol, where like you have people call in to vote and there's like levels to this. So basically I made it to like the top 10, and there would always be rehearsals. And there was one time that we had a show on a Friday night, and we went out with all the contestants afterwards. We were drinking and partying till late. And then Saturday morning, we had to show up to a rehearsal, which was mandatory. And so I have a problem with forcing myself to wake up in the morning. It's just really difficult, especially if I don't want to wake up. So basically, I just didn't feel like getting up that day. I couldn't. It was tough. It was difficult. So I got up when I could get up, and then I went to that rehearsal late. So what happened was the producers of the show just like had it. They were so mad that day, and they basically told me, you're disqualified, you're off the show, you're not gonna sing. Even if you're in the top 10, you're just not gonna sing. We're not gonna let you perform and be on the show. And that was heartbreaking because one, it's like I didn't realize that was a consequence. I was sad. I was also very embarrassed to tell all my friends and family who knew I was in this show. I was embarrassed to tell everyone I was disqualified because I was late to a rehearsal. It was just like the stupidest reason to get kicked off the show. After that, I was really sad about the situation, but I emailed the producers. I just apologized and I just asked, like, can I please perform? Can you just please let me perform? I don't have to like be in the competition, but I mean, I've prepared this song and I've been going to rehearsals. I'm just let me perform. So thankfully, they were kind enough to let me perform my song, even though I wasn't considered like a contestant in the show. I was more of like a special guest for that episode. And I just remember after my performance, I killed it. Okay, I think I killed it. I practiced so much and I had a lot of fun because I just love performing. I love music and singing, everything. So after my performance, like my friends brought signs, my family made signs like, let Aileen sing. It was so cute. But the judges, they just said like, that was amazing. It's such a shame that you weren't in this competition. Good luck with everything you're doing. And that was it. So I didn't get to be part of the competition, but I'm happy I got to perform and I got to show something of myself. But that was just an experience that I was just embarrassed. I was like, really? Like I had to let my lateness affect this. So yeah, that was probably like the second most dramatic thing that's happened to me because I was late to something. The first most dramatic was when I got in a lot of trouble in high school and the teachers threatened to homeschool me, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to get into it. I think I talked about it on my podcast, so I'll link it down below because these are all just long life stories. But I'll also link my performance at that show as well if you want to watch it because that video is still up on YouTube. My last mistake I'll share today is in my teens and early 20s, I basically lived for others rather than for myself. So I lived to meet others' expectations of me. I lived to like prove something of myself to others. I just lived to impress others and please others. Honestly, a lot of it was like wanting to look good for my family because they wanted me to be this perfect, good student, high achieving person. And I just did my best to do that because I don't know, I just did what was told of me back then. And I basically started shifting like junior and senior year of college. That's when I had this transformational shift where I started to learn to think differently and start to live for myself, meaning like make all the choices in my life for myself in order to make me happy. So that was during the time where I was figuring out what to do with my life, what career to go into. And I've shared a lot about that also in my other videos and podcasts that I'll link below as well. But honestly, when planning this video, it was kind of hard for me to find mistakes that I've made in my 20s because I feel like once I started to make decisions for myself and make decisions for my happiness and my life, it led me down this path of, you know, working random jobs, eventually creating Lavendaire, exploring music, all of these things that I ultimately don't regret. So I don't know if I've made any big mistakes. Another thing is I always look at life experiences as a learning opportunity. So even if I did something wrong or failed here, I don't see it as a mistake. I just see it as like, this happened and I learned this from it, so it was actually good. So that's why it's harder for me to like pinpoint actual mistakes I've made in my like later 20s, because I feel like once you start living for yourself, then all the choices that you make, like you're responsible for them, but also those choices that you make for your happiness, like all of them are worth it in the end. You know, like you'll never regret making those choices because ultimately they help form this dream life. Even if they might not lead you in the direction you expected them to, I don't think there's a way you can go wrong if you continually follow your heart, listen to your intuition, and do what's best for yourself. So the most important thing is to live for yourself and not for others. And that's the lifelong journey. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to check out Jenny Mustard's video. I'll link it here and down below. I love you all so much. And since you're here, make sure to subscribe. Also follow my Instagram. I'm trying to be more active on Instagram. I'm always posting like Insta stories and stuff. So I'll see you on those other platforms. Love you all. Bye.